Okay, in these next couple of questions, I've got to simplify. So I've got a bracket times another bracket. So this is where you have to multiply out two brackets. Now, different people do this different ways. I'll do this a couple of different ways because you may have been shown either of these or something different. So some people learn the method FOIL, which is also the smiley face method. The method works that we do first one times the first one. So that's the f of FOIL, and then we do the outside terms, so we do the 2x times the 3x, and then we do the inside terms, and then we do the last terms. And if we draw those curves on, then it looks a bit like a smiley face. Some people call this a smiley face method, some people just draw the lines on. But I'm going to do it in the FOIL order, so the first term is 2x times 4, so that's 8x. Okay, then I'm going to do the 5 times the minus 3x is minus 15x, that's the last terms. Then the outside terms, the 2x times the minus 3x, plus times the minus is minus 6, and it's x's times more x's, so it's x squared. And then the inside terms, 5 times 4, they're both positive, so this is plus 20. So that's one way. I still need to simplify that. But I said I'd show you another way. I quite like this one. Some of you may be been shown this, where I write the top bracket 2x plus 5 along the top of a grid, and I do 4 minus 3x down the side of my grid. And then I'm doing this essentially the same as I did with FOIL. I'm doing each thing from one bracket times each thing from the other bracket. So 4 times 2x gives me 8x. 4 times 5 gives me 20. 2x times minus 3x, minus times a plus is a minus 6, x times x is x squared, and minus 3x times plus 5 is a minus, and it's 15, and it's just got an x on it. So you can see the same four terms that appear here. So combining them, well, the minus 6x squared won't combine with anything else, so that's going to be on its own in my answer. But the 8x take away 15x, 8 minus 15 is minus 7x. And then I've got a plus 20, so my answer is minus 6x squared minus 7x plus 20. So I've written this as an equivalent chunk of algebra, but without the brackets. That's what simplify means. So I've got to do something similar here for question 9. So now I've got something outside a bracket, and I've got to multiply this by each thing inside the bracket. So the calculation I've got to do is xy times x over y. Okay, I'm a bit hesitant to write a times sign there because it looks a bit like an x, but I'll try and write it smaller and so it's different. And the other term is going to be the same xy, but this time times the y over x. Okay, now I've got things that aren't fractions times things that are fractions. So to make this look easier, I'm going to turn this xy into a fraction. Anything can be written as a fraction of itself divided by 1. So I'm going to do that in both cases. So now this is like when you've got a 4 times something, 4 times a fraction, you'd write the 4 as 4 over 1. If I've got xy times a fraction, I write the xy as xy over 1. So now I can multiply the top of the fraction and multiply the bottom of the fraction. That's the rule for multiplying fractions. So on the bottom I'm going to have 1 times y, which is just y. And on the top I'm going to have xy times x. Okay, I could write xy times x, or I could write that as x squared times y, because this is x times y times another x, and that other x times this x gives me the x squared. So in the same way, on this one, 1 times x on the bottom is going to give me an x, but x times y times another y is xy squared. So I've simplified it a bit, but this can be made a whole lot simpler still, because x squared times y divided by this y on the bottom, the y's cancel. In other words, it's just x squared over 1, or just x squared. X squared times y divided by that y is x squared. So on this term here, I've got x times y squared divided by the x, so the answer is, for that term, y squared. And so this nasty looking piece of algebra actually simplifies to something as nice as x squared plus y squared. And I'm done with that one.